So my teacher training journey, I went to Rhodes, as Pat said. My initial plan was to do a BA with an honours and then have it for the PGCE, but then there were other opportunities. So I did the BA with the honours, and then I ended up doing a Masters in Education while being a teaching assistant in the School of Languages. So that was sort of the educational, the academic side. And it really wasn't, my experience wasn't about, I didn't have sort of the PGCE or the BA 4-year going in and out of the classroom, having mentors who have been teachers before. It was almost quite sporadic in a way, and it allowed me to dip in and out of certain things that I really wanted, that I was interested in. And so the biggest thing for me was the volunteering experience that I had, where I was able to be in primary schools, where I was able to be in high schools, and I did a reading club at a high school, which really showed me, I mean, I was an outsider, but I had a sense of some of the challenges in a township school in Grahamstown. And then I didn't end up doing the PGCE. And that was mostly because of the fault of the school that I approached to teach, which was a new school in Cape Town. I worked there for 3 years, and it was a new school, and then I started, it was in its second year, and we were a flurry of young and enthusiastic and new teachers. But also because of the nature of the school, it's a government school, the resources are quite few and far between. There was very little development after that. It was something that we had to take on ourselves at a personal level. We had moderation meetings, lots of moderation meetings with files, and that was part of the frustration. I think that there was a lot of emphasis on the portfolio for me rather than the process of getting to the portfolio, and that's maybe something we can talk about. What's the idea behind moderation? So we had a lot more moderation meetings than I did to maybe workshops about, I don't know, teaching English or teaching poetry. And the next 3 have been my experience at St. Mary's, where I've been to a seminar about international education. Earlier this year I went to a ZAP poetry workshop, which was held at Wits. And I recently was invited, and someone's here, so I've added it in. We have a discussion group about education, and it's been really great for me as a teacher to also step out of what I do in the classroom and talk about education in a broad sense. And that's something, I mean, at the start of my life, a friend invited me, but I think it's important for teachers. We have big ideas about what we do, and we have small ideas about what we do. Not small ideas, but sort of narrow, focused ideas about what we do in teaching, and the group has really allowed me to balance the 2 ideas. So I think my experience at Claremont has allowed me to kind of do this private versus public, and it's probably an unfair comparison, but just to show some of the experiences that I've had, and that in the school that I'm in now, it is a private school, we have a timetabled section. Everyone has a lesson once a week where you sit with other teachers from other departments, and you get to talk about your experiences, you talk about whatever it is. Sometimes it's assessment, sometimes you do a reading, and we have a plan for the term, what we're going to do for teacher development. And then while I was at Claremont, there was an initial mentoring system, but again, it was quite sporadic. So we also have day-long workshops at the beginning of every term, and we talk about various things. I think the previous one we had was about the school as a caring community, and the one that we're having now, everyone's going to break off and launch off into groups, and you choose the sessions that you want to do. Again, at the Claremont, I had the initial workshop of the school's culture. Because it was a new school, there was a lot of emphasis on what is the school's culture, what are we trying to do, which was something that was valuable. And then sharing a reflection at the end, to the rest of the staff on term. If someone goes on a conference, they have to come back to the staff and share. And there's a lot of that. Teachers are encouraged to go to conferences, to workshops, and it's part of something that is supported by the school. But again, at Claremont, we also had a whole staff workshop once a term where we talk about classroom management or writing comments for our report, which was quite a big deal. So how do you write a report comment to make sure that it's meaningful and understandable for the parent and communicates what we've been doing in class. Also, we have more staff members, so there's a lot more support. And I think there's a lot more sharing in terms of younger staff members and older staff members within departments, and we have weekly departmental meetings. Sometimes you have departmental meetings of people. So I teach Form 1 and Form 2, in grade 8 to grade 9, and we have meetings there for that, and then we have a whole department meeting, and then we'll have the whole staff meeting as well. So those are various meetings and various support structures that constantly teachers are talking and engaging. And I wrote they're competitive. I probably shouldn't have, but it probably reflects something about my school. But professional development is quite a culture, or teacher development. It's quite a culture in the school. It's always about which workshop have you been to? When was the last time you went to a conference? And so it's part of the culture to want to become a better teacher, to want to do more, to want to learn and to come back and bring more to the school. And then I added then NAPTOSA because most of the teachers on our staff were NAPTOSA union members. And there was never really talk about if you cycle what happens, but most people were just, that was the default. That was the union we were introduced to, and there were experiences where there were workshops available. The school again would try and support as much as possible. Sometimes there were prices, so you had to take out from your own pocket if the school wasn't able to support you in that. And that was the one or two workshops that we went to.